both center backs from Atlanta United have defended well, whether it's collectively or 1v1 situations. The ability to get their timing right, their positioning right, to ultimately cut out any chances and plays where you feel like Santos have gained an advantage.
Just looking for that creativity late on here.
Both teams searching for it. Seen the managers roll the dice a little bit with the subs they've made. Now it's up to the players to execute.
Ball in behind, Gregerson pulled down. It's almost that artistic edge you want from the attackers. And once again, that final ball lacking.
The artistry, the creativity, words that you would associate with guys that have been played for these clubs in the past. The likes of Brunetta, who's no longer here playing for Tigres. What a player he would have been to still be in this squad, and would have been needed for for Santos Laguna.
That's the issue, isn't it? We still find ourselves talking about players who've moved on rather than that next player stepping
Same
up.
could be said for Atlanta United, right? What this team would look like. Yakimak is still involved in the fray, but they do have Alexei Marinchuk incoming. Well, he is here now. It's just a matter of how soon he can get himself available and on the pitch for Atlanta United.
Medina, he's been a bright spot on this right-hand side. A couple of good crosses. Raveda dropping all the way back in. It's going to be interesting to see how much stoppage time we have here at the end. We had the red card issue, didn't we, where Ivan Barton had to go to video assistant review.
We're probably in for a decent chunk of stoppage time. I mean, how long did that take? A good 5-6 minutes?
Yep.
We had players leaving the pitch already, having to be chased down from the locker room and come back out.
Nick Firmino's going to come on here late on. Eight appearances in Major League Soccer for him, and Xande Silva had those moments, Mo, but never getting that final touch needed. And
this is a story of Xande Silva. So much potential, so much creativity, but it's about getting that final product, getting that end product. Just 2 goals, 2 assists on the season. But for a player of his caliber, you expect those numbers to be at the very least double in both categories.
Well, any goal right now is going to be a match-winning goal. Delivered towards the far post, Nunez, and the flag has gone up. So again, a wasted opportunity. Talked about set pieces being the great level, and they haven't taken advantage of them either side today.
It's interesting to me that from an Atlanta United standpoint, because they've gone to penalty kicks already in this competition, didn't win. They lost to DC United. So a part of me feels like, do you want to go down that road again? The reference point you have from a penalty kick standpoint has been a loss. So we'll see what kind of eagerness we see.
Although they're on the back foot here. Amione inside the area, and that one's knocked out of play for the corner. So again, another set-piece opportunity. Fagundes, Medina, the sole man back for Santos Laguna. Lots of bodies inside that 6, whipped in towards the 6. Cohen flaps at it, does enough to get it clear, but out of play on the far side for a throw-in. Santos Laguna will regain possession.
It's a strong punch there from Josh Cohen, and he had to get that right. Crowded 6-yard box. Santos Laguna players really trying to get forward.
Medina, I think that slipped out of his hands if he's going for the longer throw-in. The shortest long throw you'll ever see. Well, the added time is presented by AT&T. We're going to have 6 additional minutes here. I thought it could have been longer.
I said 6, right?
I don't remember you saying. You said a big chunk. I don't think you committed to a number.
6-ish, something like that. But 6 minutes now to see which team is going to be the aggressor. Which team is, well, it's a heavy pass.
Firmino asking a lot out of Mosquera.
And with him coming on the pitch, Nick Firmino, he's going to play as a number 10 now. Lobjanidze is going to slot out on that left-hand side to replace Sean De Silva. So you have some intriguing pieces for Atlanta United on the pitch now. The likes of Firmino, Mosquera, Lobjanidze along that front three and behind Thiaré.
Well, last couple of minutes, it's Santos Laguna who've had more of the attacking intent.
It's really interesting because this attacking attempt from Santos has kept Brooks Lennon back this whole half. We haven't seen him get forward beyond set piece early on, the corner kick early on in this second half, which is one of the key areas of how Atlanta United attack. His service from that right-hand side, it's been kind of nullified this game.
Yeah. Rios coming off as well, part of that attack recently. Couple of goals against DC, been in really good form. You've hardly said the name of Jamal Thiaré. Pascal got that one forward, and well, Brooks Lennon might not be able to get forward, but he's done his defensive work. Here's Thiaré. Lobjanidze in a lot of space on this left-hand side. Thiaré continuing his run. Ball played into his back. Acevedo comes out. He's around the goalkeeper and into the side netting. And Acevedo does well to avoid contact as well with the attacker as he came out.
Thiaré does so well to start this playoff. Dropping off the line, winning the ball, getting on the half turn, but then continuing his run. I'm not sure if the better option is to maybe go for the first-time effort and try to dink it over Acevedo, but Acevedo does well. You're right, Keith. Coming off his line, staying big, now making Thiaré get caught in two minds. Do I go and try to round the goalkeeper, which he's now cut that angle off? In the end, a decent chance created from Atlanta, but even better defended by Acevedo.
Well, you're not going to get away with that one. 2 balls on the field. Might give us better odds of getting a goal here late on. Naveda, Mariscal, they've been a good presence in midfield for Santos in front of that back 4, back 3 at times. Lozano turning into pressure once again. McCarty goes back for Cohen. Long ball towards Thiaré, but that's comfortable for Nunez. Medina, I took it a jersey here, so we're into the final 90 seconds. We're going to see, perhaps these are penalty changes, right? From Santos, looks like a treble change coming. Carrillo, and that's catching practice for Cohen. Big clash there as the whistle goes.
I'll tell you what, Josh Cohen, I think he actually gets this ball wrong. He's trying to pick out either, he had 2 runners on either side. Mosquera on the right-hand side was into space. Lobjanidze on the left hand, and he decides to go central. The way he slices at the ball, it almost feels like he mishits it. Leads to this collision between the center back.
On the changes here, Santiago Munoz, the man who's got the only goal this season for Santos from the penalty spot. He comes on. Your good friend, Jota Messias, comes on. And Emmanuel Echeverria is also going to come on here.
Good friend. We're besties, apparently.
I was worried about that kind of tactic, though, right? Players who've sat the whole game, who haven't got into the rhythm of the game. We've seen it backfire on coaches.
It's a heavy collision there. Thiaré just landing. See how high he got up to challenge for that ball.
Camione off. And I guess one thing, it's telling the players coming on, we want you on the penalty spot. Telling the guys coming off, we definitely don't want you on the penalty spot.
Of course you would interpret it that way, right? Still a moment here to be a hero.
Yeah. Slish. Villalba knocking it forward. Well over the 6 allotted minutes. Cohen knocks it forward. On either side have really gambled here late on to go for the win. That's going to be the final action. It will be penalties to decide who moves on to the knockout stages of the Leagues Cup. And on the balance of play tonight, Mo, a fair result.
Incredibly fair result. The best chance probably goes to the header that Lobjanice has in the second half, forcing the save out of Acevedo. I'd say Acevedo had the bigger save to make in this game and stands out as a man that helped to keep his team into this moment. Now, can he take that confidence from the saves that he made to make a couple big ones in penalty kick shootout? Josh Cohen will be tasked with the same challenge as both teams get prepared to see who can find the winner here in the penalty kick shootout.
Yeah, he saved that one from Klich to begin that penalty shootout. Josh Cohen. Bartosz Slisz actually missed a couple of penalties in regulation and in the penalty shootout. Be interesting to see if he takes a penalty of the penalty takers in that DC game. TRA, Lobjanidze, Firmino and Dax McCarty all on the field and all available to take. On the other side of things, I mentioned Santiago Munoz scoring a penalty against Pumas in season. The previous 6 for Santos Laguna had been taken by Harold Preciado, who I think we've spoken about already, not available.
Well, this is massive for both of these teams, though, because you mentioned earlier the importance of avoiding that gap between your next game. Atlanta United playing in front of their home crowd. They played both of their games in front of their home crowd. They want to stay in this competition and get a positive result for these fans that have come out tonight. And for Santos Laguna, equally tasked with a similar kind of proposition in front of them. It's been a really slow start to the campaign. They haven't won a game in their last 11 attempts. So this is a massive moment for them, a massive moment for Liga MX. Can they qualify another team to go to the knockout rounds in this competition?
Of 31 penalties faced, Carlos Acevedo has saved 4. A very experienced goalkeeper, but hasn't registered a save since he stopped a penalty from Uriel Antuna, and that back in February of 2022. Josh Cohen. Just on we saw Rob Valentino with his players. Is this something that you've talked about before in terms of we get here, we know who's taking the penalties?
Yeah, 100%. You have been practicing penalty kicks throughout the week, throughout the days, I guess, leading up to this moment. But even before the first game is played, you're practicing penalty kicks because you know that's a possible outcome. Rob Valentino said as much after that first game against DC United. They worked on penalty kicks even more now because they lost that shootout. So the practice can never fully replicate being in a stadium with fans behind the goal, with chanting and all the different pressure that comes with being in this moment, but you can rehearse your procedure, how you walk up, your approach to taking the ball, where you want to. What corner you pick, how you go about making your decisions. But for both of these teams, neither of them qualified for the knockout rounds last competition. Right, 2023 Leagues Cup. So the importance of this moment for these two teams, it's massive.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw Carlos Acevedo saying, we'll go first. We'll take the first penalty. And statistically, they say you're more likely to win if you do go first. We did see that kind of change a couple of years ago when it was 1-2. Right? Well, the penalty kicks are presented by AT&T. And Santiago Munoz on the field. For all of 35 seconds, is going to be the first one tasked. We're giving Santos the lead up against Josh Cohen.
It's about tone setting now. The value of a sub coming off the bench throughout the 90 minutes, important, but now even more so.
Josh Cohen had the one save from Klich. And that was right at the beginning of that penalty shootout. How can he do against, just on the field, Santiago Munoz? Brought on to take a penalty. And he does really well. That's a super penalty. Mo, you gave me a look that you were impressed with. Just the style of the youngster stepping up and dispatching that one into the corner.
Well, it's the power from Munoz because Cohen guesses the right way, but there's just enough power, and you can tell it's a confident take from Santiago Munoz to now put the pressure on Sabalob Janidze stepping up for Atlanta United.
Sabalob Janidze. One of the penalty takers against DC, one of the scorers of a penalty from the spot up against Carlos Azevedo, who made a couple of top-class saves today. The Mexican international. Lob Janidze to level things up in the penalty shootout against Azevedo, and he scores high above the dive of Azevedo. And now Lob Janidze says to the crowd, let's get behind the team.
An interesting little stutter step from Lob Janidze, but he looked confident the whole way through. Allows Azevedo to guess the right way, but then just puts enough height on it to put it with outside. The reach of the goalkeeper to tie things at 1-1.
And a man who received a red card today, and well, he was already gone, wasn't he? He came back. And now he's tasked with restoring order for Santos Laguna. Second penalty for them. Anthony Choco Lozano, the Honduran. Two superbly taken penalties so far. Lozano against Cohen, and that's equally good.
At 3-3.
Franco Fagundes, the number 10. Again, one of those players I think for Santos you'd ask most of the fans they'd expect more of. This is a big moment for him to restore the Santos lead. Perfect both sides so far, and it continues. Cohen goes the wrong way. He kept it low, he kept it hard. And Santos lead by 4-3.
Well, you and I were kind of looking at each other, wondering which version of Franco Fagúndez we'd get on this play, on this take. And it's the confident version, knowing the pressure of the moment. The number 10 rises to the occasion.
Jamal Thiaré kisses the ball as he walks up. We're in that territory where a mistake almost can't be rectified, right? If he misses, Santos would score to win. Short run up from Jamal Thiaré. Acevedo, hands on his knees, saves! Run up and a telegraphed hit from Thiaré.
I always feel like the short run up at times gives the advantage to the goalkeeper. And Acevedo's quick with his decision, explosive off his line. The penalty kick's not in the corner either, so is it a comfortable height, a comfortable position for the goalkeeper to make the save?
Yeah, it's a save, but not a difficult save. And now it's all down to Jota Macias. Just on the field, again, brought on for this very reason. Santos Laguna, one kick away from the knockout stage of the Leagues Cup 2024. Josh Cohen has to provide some magic to keep Atlanta alive. Macias scores! Santos Laguna defensively improved over the course of 90 minutes and absolutely clinical from the penalty spot. Atlanta denied from 12 yards for the second straight game, and it's Santos moving on, Mo.
I mean, but just watch this penalty kick. Jota Macias, he's watching Cohen the whole time, waiting for him to commit, and then it's just coolly slotted the opposite way, just off the bench. Himself and Santiago Munoz make their presence felt in this penalty kick shootout. 5 for 5, Santos Laguna go to find themselves into the next round of the competition.
We talk about pressure, Mo. They handled it to perfection, didn't they, from the penalty spot?
5 well-taken penalty kicks. You always talk about, can your goalkeeper just make one save to give you that advantage? Carlos Acevedo, their captain, does that for Santos Laguna, and then you have 5 well-taken penalty kicks that put them into the round of 32.
Well, what does this mean for Atlanta United? A loss, the knockdown of this competition. They have to wait an awfully long time until they play again in MLS. Is that a good thing, a bad thing?
I would say it's a bad thing because, especially when you introduce new players, well, first of all, you want to advance in the competition. That's first and foremost. You always want to get out of your group. They didn't do that last time around in this competition. They won't do it again this time. So that's obviously a blight on what's been happening here with Atlanta United. But beyond that, you wanted to have more games. You wanted to give Miranchuk a chance to maybe get acclimated to the team in this kind of environment. It's not to be the case. We'll see what happens for Atlanta United in terms of any potential new signings coming in to strengthen this squad as they look to maintain and even improve on their 9th place position when the season resumes.
I mentioned Nacho Ambriz had worked with Javier Aguirre, a defensive-minded coach and a defensive-minded performance that his mentor would have been proud of tonight.
Kept a clean sheet. That's all you can ask for from a Santos Laguna standpoint, because they conceded 3, and there were 3 bad goals that they conceded against DC United. So it's a big improvement from that standpoint. They're on the road, as we mentioned, and they're sitting 16th out of 18 teams without a win in their last 11 games coming into this one. So this is a massive result for them. They advance to the knockout rounds, and they'll hope that they can find a way to use this as momentum to build on, but ultimately they got to find a way to score goals.
Well, this is the man of the match presented by Geico. Whatever you need, get more with Geico. And it has to be that man, Carlos Acevedo. A couple of big saves in the game as well, Mo, before we even got to penalties.
Acevedo was a man possessed in goal for Santos Laguna. Did a good job of keeping his team in the game, whether it was from set-piece opportunities. This shot from distance from Xande Silva, it takes a slight deflection, which makes it even harder and puts it in a further position for Acevedo to get to. but he showed off his shot-stopping ability throughout the 90 minutes, as well as in the penalty kick shootout. This is a good one here. He comes off his line, stays big to deny the effort there from Jamal Chiare, who had done so well to create the play. Cuts off his angle, limits the threat in behind. And then, of course, the most decisive moment, denies Jamal Chiare again, this time from the penalty spot, to give the slight advantage to Santos Laguna. Jota Macias will come off the bench, slide home the fifth to make it 5-4. But what a match from their captain, Carlos Acevedo.
Acevedo with the clean sheet. Santos Laguna moving on after the penalties victory over Atlanta United. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with a recap of all of today's action.